Most people spend 30 years paying off a house they barely live in. These two decided to stop. So I'm standing inside a tiny house right now, 11.5 feet wide, 33 feet long. That's it. And you came from a 5,500 square foot home?
I did.
How does that even happen?
You know what? When you live tiny, you actually have a bigger life because you have more financial freedom. You get to do more things. You stop pouring money into a house and start pouring it into living.
And this floor I'm standing on right now, is that heated?
Heated floors, yes.
Wow, in a tiny house.
Yep, and you typically only see that in really high-end homes, but when your floor is maybe 10 square feet, it doesn't cost very much at all.
Okay, I need to see everything.
Okay, let's go.
All right, Jamie, let's start from the beginning. Walk me through the layout of this place.
So when you walk in the front door, kitchen is right there, then the living room, bathroom behind that, and the bedroom in the back.
And above all of that?
Above the bathroom and the bedroom, we've got a loft area. Kind of a little nook we created up there. We'll get to that.
Okay, and where exactly are we right now? Because this does not look like a typical neighborhood outside.
So we're in Fairplay, Colorado, in a tiny home-only park called G-Man-Cobb. We're at 10,000 feet elevation.
10,000 feet?
So we're in ski country, about 30 minutes from Breckenridge.
Yo, that is not a bad commute to the slopes.
Not at all. And what I really love about being here specifically is that everyone in this park is doing tiny living. So we're all kind of on this journey together, figuring out how to make it work. Nobody judges your square footage here.
I love that. It's like a whole community of people who made the same call and just said, let's go.
Exactly. And that makes such a difference, especially when you're just starting out. You don't feel alone in it.
All right, let's head into the kitchen because you told me you love to cook. And honestly, walking in here, I was a little skeptical.
I was skeptical too. I thought this space was gonna drive me crazy, but it has everything I need. Let me show you around.
Please.
Full-size fridge right here.
Oh, fantastic.
We're in a semi-remote area. The nearby grocery store doesn't always carry what we're looking for. So when we go into a larger town, we stock this thing way up.
Smart. And the stove?
Propane cooktop. I will take propane over electric any day, just my preference. But cooking with propane is just different.
Oh, better control.
Yes, so much better, thank God. And then the oven, full size. Not a tiny little thing, full size oven.
You held your ground on that one.
I held my ground because I love to cook and I was not going to spend the next however many years hunched over a tiny oven. Your appliances don't have to be small just because your house is small. You just have to plan the layout right.
That's actually something I don't think people realize. They assume tiny house means tiny everything.
That's the wrong assumption. Pick the things that matter to you. Don't sacrifice those. This kitchen was mine, and it doesn't feel like a sacrifice at all.
Standing here right now, it really doesn't. Okay, so you said don't sacrifice the things that matter. What else in this kitchen made the cut?
So this spice rack right here, I have never had one of these before, and I cook a lot, so finding the right spice fast matters more than people think.
I'd spend half my cooking time just searching.
Exactly. And this keeps everything organized. I can see everything at a glance. Love it.
Huh. And the trash situation? Because that's always the thing nobody thinks about.
Tumbleweed actually built in a trash and recycle cabinet right here. It's integrated into the kitchen. Really smart design. I didn't have to figure that out myself.
Nice. What about the pantry?
Open concept pantry over here. And honestly, I was not cool with that at first. I like things tucked away. But now that we're living with it, it's totally fine. You just get used to it.
Oh my God, sometimes you think you need a door until you realize you don't.
Exactly. And there is so much storage in this kitchen overall. We're not even using all of it.
That surprises me.
The only thing is, some of it is really high up, like up there. So I use my tongs to grab things sometimes.
Your tongs?
My kitchen tongs, yes. We also have a stepladder, but honestly, I reach for the tongs first.
That's either very clever or very lazy. I can't decide which.
Probably both. But here's the thing. If storage is too high and too hard to reach, you stop using it anyway, so it almost doesn't matter.
Yeah, fair point. And where do you keep your pots and pans? Because I don't see them in here.
They're not in the kitchen. You'll see where we put them later, and you won't even know they're there. Think outside the box with storage. Pots and pans don't have to live in the kitchen.
Okay, now I'm curious. What else am I missing in here?
Dishwasher. It's 3/4 sized. I was worried it wasn't going to clean well, but it actually works great. No complaints.
Good to know. God bless you.
And then this sink area. big sink. And this extension here that kind of stretches the countertop out, that's Jeremiah's favorite thing in the whole kitchen.
Of course it is.
And these open shelves over here, again, not really my style, but it works. And my plant loves it here, so the plant wins.
The plant gets a vote.
The plant always gets a vote. One thing I will say, though, these countertops, they're gorgeous, really beautiful, but they don't have a strong finish, so they absorb stains pretty easily. That's something we're actually looking to change.
So the countertops are going.
They're going. I understand why Tumbleweed chose them. They match perfectly with the beetle kill pine walls. The whole look works together. But functionally, we need something tougher.
Beauty versus practicality, the eternal kitchen battle.
And practicality wins eventually. Every time.
Before we move to the living room, one thing I noticed walking in here. The air feels really good. Is that intentional?
Very intentional. WOW does a great job with ventilation. There's intake coming into the loft, fresh air circulating through the whole house. And we have this little fan in the living space that puts out a ton of airflow.
That little thing?
That little thing. Don't underestimate it. If you're a fan person, get a fan. Make sure airflow is something you think about before you buy your tiny house, not after.
Okay, good advice. And heating. You're at 10,000 feet. Colorado winters are no joke.
Sure. So we have mini splits, but in the really cold months, we run a propane heater on the wall too. You don't want to rely on just one heat source up here. The propane puts out exceptional heat in a small space. It warms everything up fast.
Good to know. Okay, living room. Let's go.
So this is where we actually live. This is where the dogs hang out, where we watch TV, where we just exist.
And you came from a 5,500 square foot home. Does this feel like a come down?
Honestly, no. Not because in that 5,500 square foot home, so much space was just not being used. Like entire rooms sitting there, empty.
Paying the heat rooms you never walk into.
Exactly. So when we designed this home with Tumbleweed, we asked ourselves, what spaces do we actually use? What do we actually want? And we built around that.
And what was the answer?
Good food and people. We like to cook and we like to have people over. So we prioritized the kitchen and a living area that could actually hold a group.
And can it?
You can fit 6 people on that couch.
That couch is huge.
8 feet long. I don't think I've ever had an 8-foot couch in any house I've lived in.
In a tiny house, 8 feet.
Tumbleweed built custom drawers right underneath it too. So it's not just a couch, it's storage.
What's in there?
Kitchen stuff, actually. Pots, pans. Remember I said they don't have to live in the kitchen?
There they are.
There they are. And it makes total sense. We're 2 steps from the kitchen anyway. In a tiny space, that's completely natural.
What about the TV situation? Because I noticed the window above it looks different.
So that was originally a big picture window. We converted it into a transom window so we could mount the TV underneath it. Great use of the wall space.
Smart. And this little corner over here.
That's our multi-purpose nook. Morning coffee, breakfast, and when I sit down with my laptop, that's my home office. Papers out, computer open, it works perfectly.
So the living room is also the dining room and also the office.
And it never feels crowded because every inch has a job. Nothing is wasted.
One thing I keep noticing in here is that it doesn't feel small. Like I keep forgetting I'm in a tiny house. How's that possible?
I think because of ceiling height. You know, when you increase the height of the ceilings, the whole space opens up. It creates this tall, cavernous feeling.
Ah, I see. And our brain just stops registering it as tiny. It just feels like a normal room. That's a design trick I did not expect. Okay, bathroom.
So one of my biggest things when we were planning this house was storage in the bathroom. Because I've been in so many bathrooms where there's just clutter everywhere, no place to put anything.
Every bathroom ever.
So we paid a lot of attention to this. We've got a huge storage area here for towels. I have my shelf, Jeremiah has his shelf, more shelves over here, medicine cabinet, and storage underneath the sink too.
Wow, so everything actually has a home.
That was really important to us.
And the shower.
We did a faux concrete finish, really cool look. And again, because we're saving money on square footage, we could actually afford to do nice upgrades like this.
Yo, and is that a heated floor in here too?
Heated floors, yes. And here's why it's not crazy to have that in a tiny house. This floor is maybe 10 square feet, so the cost to heat it is minimal, but the luxury of stepping onto a warm floor in a Colorado winter morning?
That's a high-end hotel move in a tiny house budget.
Exactly. You get to live like that without spending a fortune. Oh, and one more thing, we're actually connected to the town of Fairplace sewer system, so no septic tank needed.
That's lucky.
Yep. Thank God, very lucky, because septic is not cheap. We did pray.
Speaking of not cheap, let's talk numbers. Because Jeremiah has a pretty unique background for someone living in a tiny house.
He does. He spent his career as a certified financial planner, helped people with everything: household budgets, asset purchases, taxes, estate planning, all of it.
And then he decided to build a tiny home development in the mountains of Colorado.
At 10,000 feet, yes. And when he told me that, we had only been seeing each other for about 6 months.
6 months in, and he says, hey, let's go build tiny houses on a mountain.
I thought he was crazy. I genuinely thought he was crazy. But I didn't know him well enough yet to actually say that.
So you just went along with it?
I mean, end of this year will be 5 years later, and here we are.
So maybe he wasn't crazy.
Maybe not. And the financial planner brain really helps here, because there are costs people don't think about. Septic alone can run anywhere from $20,000 to $75,000, depending on where you put it.
That's a huge range.
Infrastructure costs can make or break the economics of your whole situation. So talk to someone who has been down that road. Don't figure it out alone. And as for the house itself, the structure from Tumbleweed was about $165,000, plus about $5,000 to ship it 100 miles through mountain canyons.
So roughly $170,000 to get it here and set up.
Roughly, yes. And don't underestimate shipping. It is not cheap, especially when your route goes through canyons and up a mountain.
Okay, so you've got the house, you've got it shipped here, but where do you actually put a tiny house legally, you know? Because that's the part that stops a lot of people.
Yeah, you're right. It stops a lot of people because it's genuinely confusing, even for government officials. They look at a tiny house and think, is this a house? Is it an RV?
It's on wheels, so how can it be a house? That's a real conversation happening in city halls.
It really is, and most jurisdictions are not very receptive yet. But Colorado has been really progressive about this. About 2 years ago, they created a state-sanctioned process where you can actually place a tiny house almost anywhere, if you follow their rules.
Almost anywhere.
Yes, there are still restrictions, but there's a lot more flexibility than most states. And you also have to find communities that are friendly to tiny houses.
Yeah, like El Paso County, for example. They were one of the first counties to allow it.
You had to buy a 5-acre parcel for septic reasons, but then you could legally put your tiny house on that land.
5 acres for a tiny house. There's something beautifully ironic about that.
There really is. But the point is, the door is opening, because housing affordability is a problem everywhere now. It used to just be certain cities. Now it's nearly everywhere. Housing is expensive, and people are desperate for options.
And tiny houses are one of those options.
Park County has been incredible about it. They're cheering on what we're building here, working with us every step of the way. That kind of support makes everything easier.
All right. Let's go see the bedroom, because this is actually the heart of your whole story here.
It really is. So first thing you might notice, the bed is sitting directly on the floor. No platform, no frame.
That's different.
It's because of our dog. She's 15 years old and she's blind.
Holy, poor her.
Yes, so getting up onto a platform bed just wasn't happening for her.
15 years old and blind. She gets the final say in interior design.
She absolutely does. And honestly, it works out well anyway because it keeps this window fully unblocked. All that light comes straight in. So it's a practical choice that ended up being a design win too.
What else is back here?
Lots of closet space, plenty of room for all our clothes. And right here, this is actually where our hot water heater lives. 40-gallon tank, so we can take long hot showers and never worry about running out.
40 gallons in a tiny house. I did not see that coming.
And heated floors in here too. But we were smart about it.
Oh!
Yeah, we only put the heat pads around where you actually walk. not underneath the bed. Why heat where nobody steps?
Smart.
And then up here in the ceiling, that's the mini split. There wasn't wall space for it in here because we wanted to keep all the windows, so we just put it in the ceiling instead.
Ceiling-mounted mini-split, windows everywhere. This bedroom actually feels really calm.
It does. And here's the thing. We didn't start with the bedroom down here. We actually tried putting it up in the loft first.
And?
With a 15-year-old blind dog who cannot climb stairs, it did not work out.
So the dog moved the bedroom.
The dog moved the bedroom. And there are a lot of people beyond just dog owners who might not want to be climbing up and down and getting on their hands and knees into a loft every night. Downstairs living just makes more sense for where we are in life right now.
Sometimes the best design decision comes from the most unexpected place.
A 15-year-old blind dog. Every time.
Okay, so you've got the house, you've got it shipped here, but where do you actually put a tiny house legally, Because that's the part that stops a lot of people.
Yeah, you're right. It stops a lot of people because it's genuinely confusing, even for government officials. They look at a tiny house and think, is this a house? Is it an RV?
It's on wheels, so how can it be a house? That's a real conversation happening in city halls.
It really is, and most jurisdictions are not very receptive yet. But Colorado has been really progressive about this. About 2 years ago, they created a state-sanctioned process where you can actually place a tiny house almost anywhere if you follow their rules.
Almost anywhere.
Yes, there are still restrictions, but there's a lot more flexibility than most states. And you also have to find communities that are friendly to tiny houses.
So Jamie, if someone is sitting at home right now watching this, maybe they're tired of the mortgage, maybe they're tired of paying rent and feeling like it's going nowhere. Maybe they watched the 100 tiny house tours and still haven't made the move. What do you actually say to that person?
I say figure out what you actually use, not what you think you need, what you actually use. Because I came from 5,500 square feet and so much of it was just there, untouched, unused, costing me money every single month.
And the stuff that fills all that space?
Let it go. That purge feeling, you cannot understand it until you do it. But once you do, you will not want to go back.
What about the practical stuff? The money, the land, the legalities?
Do your research. Talk to people who have been down that road. Know your infrastructure costs before you commit. Septic, shipping, site prep, those numbers matter. And find a state, a county, a community that is actually friendly to tiny living, because they exist. More of them every year.
And the house itself?
Don't sacrifice the things that matter to you. Full-size oven if you love to cook, 8-foot couch if you love people, heated floors if you want to feel like you're living well. Because in a tiny house, those things are actually affordable. That's the part nobody tells you. You can have the luxury without the price tag that usually comes with it.
And the life on the other side of all that?
Bigger. That's the word I keep coming back to. When you live tiny, you actually live bigger. More financial freedom, more time, more experiences, less stress, less stuff weighing you down. And tiny house people are pretty cool too. Don't forget that part.
Don't forget that part. Thank you so much, Jamie. This has been incredible.
Thank you for coming. Come back when the snow hits. It's even better up here.
I will absolutely take you up on that. And folks, if you're watching this right now, if this story hit home for you, you know what to do. Subscribe and don't forget to check out more inspiring tiny house stories. We've got a lot more of these coming. Thanks for listening and see you next time. Take it easy, guys. Bye-bye.